Hello, my name is Ilona, and I'd like to take a look at the Declaration. Let me see, the Declaration of the People of the United States for Global Peace and Prosperity. This is very interesting. I saw it when Simon Parkes put this on his channel. Charlie Ward also put it out there, so I started reading it. The first part is pretty much very, very similar to the Declaration of Independence from 1776. Of course, they did this on purpose. This pretty much sums up everything that's going on in the world, and it talks about becoming independent as United States, but also globally. Like I said, they mention globally, and in part they also talk about the free and independent USA. So all political connection between the elite or the oligopolists, as they are also called in this document, between the United States and abroad has to be dissolved. Any connection to them, any agency or anyone that worked for them, it has to be dissolved completely. And they mention a lot of things. I really recommend reading it. I put it on my channel, my Telegram channel, so you can find it there. You can find it at Simon Parkes' website, Charlie Ward's website. And it really talks about what the elite has done. It mentions the fake C thing. It also mentions the altering of the DNA because of the wasp sting. It also says there could be a loss of up to 70% of the people that actually taken the wasp sting. So could be, that's what it says. Mentions, of course, what happened November 2020, where they took over and pretty much, well, faked things. They talk about the population, the reduction that this global elite wanted through wars, food shortages, modifications of food, the obstruction of justice. They even mentioned the show me your papers, which is similar to a part in history in the Second World War, that people had to show them papers if you wanted to pass through things. And of course, that's similar to what's happening now with wasp sting and the passes that you have to show, otherwise you cannot enter certain areas. They're talking about the foreign troops are being held on USA ground, but of course throughout the world. The taxes no one consented to, the movements they use in the USA, but also worldwide for their agendas. It's really a very thorough document, I have to say. And they are calling for a free, independent USA. So no connection anymore to these elites, to these oligopolists. They call for an action to write to your representative or your legislator. Well, they're talking, of course, of the USA, but this is globally. So I guess other people in other countries could start using this as well. And they say that people have to demand real voting with the QFS system. That's the quantum financial. It's not the financial system, I guess it's the quantum voting system, but it's the same technology in a way. It uses a very different technology, so they can all trace it back. And if I'm not mistaken, the white hats already used it in the last time it was used. So that's why they know everything, and they know where every ballot or every paper went, so they can find it. Also, they already have the evidence. That's at least what I believe. Also, a protection to choose your medical treatment, whether you want something or not, and compensation and liability for the damage done through this, well, thing that compromises DNA. They also mentioned that it compromises DNA with the mRNA, but also with HIV, and I haven't really heard about that yet, so maybe I should do some research about that. If people also, maybe in the past, I'm sure they've used that as well to compromise the DNA of people. Really, these people are awful at all levels. They have no empathy. They have nothing. They see us as cattle, and really they don't care what happens to us. And let me see. And removing all restrictions. So they will call people to start writing, to start asking that things need to be dropped, and that the USA and probably all abroad will be free again and independent. And follow the law that's really the real law and not the American law that they follow and all the laws that they put in place. So this is very interesting to read, and I just wanted to find out with the cards what. That's also interesting. They said this is the first start of the documents that will come out. There was a conversation with Simon, Charlie, and 2 other people in the Insiders Club I watched. These are the ground rules laid down. They were also talking about the court cases in Germany and in Alberta, obviously, that the sea thing has never been isolated. So really there's no cause for all these restrictions and all these things that's going on. There's a lot of, let's just say there's a lot going on. People are really rising up. In Brazil right now, people are starting to rise up. I've seen videos of people that are truckers there as well. We have in Australia the truckers who still, you don't hear anything in the media about that, but really there's nothing in the stores anymore because the truckers aren't driving. They really are blocking everything. And information was sent to me by people in Australia who mentioned that, and I didn't even know that wasp sting was not just mandatory for nurses for the end of the month, I believe, but also for truckers. And otherwise they would lose their job. So I now fully understand why they are blocking everything and really are putting pressure on the government of Australia to stop this. So we, of course, in the Netherlands we had, and there were like 250,000 people. They were denying that in the media, but from really reliable sources, there were about 500,000 people in Amsterdam this Sunday, well, last Sunday. So and everywhere in Germany there are protests. In everywhere around the world people are protesting. You just don't see it in the media, you just don't see it in the news, but things are changing. People are not taking it anymore. So I just want to take a look at these, first of all, this document, what this document is going to bring, what is the energy of this document, and then also Charlie was mentioning that they are now clearing the way so people can sue the companies that made the wasp sting, because right now they are not liable. They've got this free card from the governments anywhere, I believe, in the world, that pretty much they're not liable for anything that's happening. So I'm first going to look at the document. What is the energy of this Declaration of the People of the United States for Global Peace and Prosperity? This is interesting. The 9 of Swords. That's the top card. This is the 8 of Pentacles, central card. This is the 10 of Swords. This is the card in the past. This is the Ace of Swords. This is the card underneath. And this is the Queen of Swords. This is for the future. So I do get a yes. What my feeling is that this paper is important. This document is important because people will start finally seeing things set, black and white. There is an elite going on. There are, there are still a lot of people are like confused and are like, in a way, this card, confused, not knowing what to do. Even if they are awake and they do understand things are going sideways. What are we supposed to do about that? So this really put people in action or give them something so they can start doing something. And that's important to get out of this. So people start getting, stuck in their frustration, but start doing things. So I think this document will put people into action. This is an action card. This is someone who's working hard. So this, to me, feels like the start of new inspiration in a way. The swords are for communication. So this will bring people out. People will start talking more about this. People will start doing things. They'll start writing their legislators. They'll start doing things. And I think that's the most important thing about this document. It will put people in action and people will finally, have something to hold on to. And that's very important. We shouldn't forget the people who are still on the fence of things. They are waking up, but they're not really certain. And this will, will give them something to focus on. In the future, this will bring This is the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is quite a wise woman, and she knows discernment. This is one of the most important things about her, is that she knows this is right, this is wrong, and that's what's going to happen with this document, as people are starting to really see this is right, this is wrong, we need to stand up for ourselves. So this will put things in motion. People will speak up, because this is also the sword card. This is also about communication, and the Queen of Swords has a very sharp tongue in a way. So she will say exactly as it is. And I think people need to have that. This will put things into action. This will bring people in action. So this is a very good energy. It will get people out of this, because in the past people were just hopeless. They were like, oh, this is, what are we supposed to do? What is going on? So there was a lot of stress and fear, and this will bring them into action. This will get them moving. So that's a good thing. Now, I also want to take a look at what he said about suing companies. He said they're laying the groundwork, if I'm not mistaken, so people can, because there is a lot of damage. I see things on the more alternative media, of course, but it's just horrible. It's just horrible. So I'm just going to take a look at that piece of information. This is the 5 of Cups. That's the card above. This is a yes. Yes, Ace of Pentacles. It's going to happen. This is the Fool. This is in the past card. Card underneath is the Knight of Pentacles. And then the card of the future is the 9 of Wands. So yes, it will be possible. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's pretty fast, actually, that people will be capable of suing companies. And that will change a lot of things. So they're working on it right now to make sure that it's happening. So they're on the background working. This is really a card about planning things thoroughly, just like they did with the document. They were very thorough with their document, and they are very thorough putting the groundwork for this. So people will be able to sue the companies and to sue them about everything now. What is happening? People really, they're dying, and this is really a card about pain. People losing their lives. I read about young people, of course. Even there being, if I'm not mistaken, 2 children in a trial died. It just breaks your heart. And the people that have damages right now, uncertainty that people are now in the hospitals, have no idea what's wrong with them because they have these really strange symptoms. There is a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. So they are making sure that people will be able to do that. And the future will be really dealing with the pain, really dealing with the aftermath. This is also about someone that's been hurt in the past and thinks that he's going to be attacked. He's not going to be attacked anymore. So I think that, to be honest, we have in a way, the worst part of this behind us. But like I said, we're going to deal with the aftermath. And like the document said, it could be up to a loss of 70% of the people that got the wasp sting. It's a possibility. So, and this is really about after the battle, the pain, and dealing with that. So I think it's going to be a very chaotic time ahead of us, a very painful time, and we could really lose a lot of people. And people need to be prepared for that, unfortunately. But this is a good thing that there's going to be liability, because as soon as that's established, I'm pretty sure everything will fall to pieces. The entire wasp sting thing will fall to pieces. And that's my feeling about this as well. Things are going to come out more and more and more. This, they were mentioning this was the start of the documents. There are going to be more documents. So I really hope that this will be very possible very soon. So I will leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.